Roman Reigns or CM Punk? Who is Paul Heyman closer to in real life? Triple H has made huge mistakes with Jey Uso and Gunther in 2025. Dean Ambrose mentioned on WWE Raw, the Judgment Day and New Day attacked. Chad Gable denies being the mysterious masked star on Raw WWE SmackDown viewership. For March 7th season increase after LA Knight's US title win, Roman Reigns sends a message after destroying Seth Rollins and CM Punk. The Rock reveals he's not a heel. Cody Rhodes plans to get legit revenge on Travis Scott. Let's dive right in. Triple H has made huge mistakes with Jey Uso and Gunther in 2025. Under Triple H's regime, Jey Uso won the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match and earned himself a world title shot against Gunther at WrestleMania 41. However, their feud on the road to WrestleMania 41 doesn't seem good enough and fails to deliver a WrestleMania world title match storyline. Let's discuss mistakes Triple H made with the Yeti Master and the Ring General in 2025. Number 1. The same stuff repeats every week on Raw. Since the announcement of the Gunther vs. Jey Uso match for WrestleMania 41, WWE has repeated the same stuff every week between these two stars. There is always some sort of brawl between these two stars, or one of them interferes in the other's match or arrives in the post-match. Even on this week's episode of Raw, when Jey Uso defeated Grayson Waller, Gunther came in and put the Yeet Master in a sleeper hold. So, Triple H needs to avoid this mistake in the remaining weeks to generate buzz for this feud. Otherwise, this seems like a more mid-card title match rather than a world title feud. Number 2. The match was announced too early. The gap between Royal Rumble PLE and WrestleMania is over 2 months. The match between Jey and Gunther was announced almost 10 weeks before Mania, which makes it too early to be official. This long gap has made it difficult for Triple H to book their rivalry with fresh elements every week. So, announcing it too early seems like another major mistake made by the game. Even if the company announced it too early, they should at least have given both stars some filler feuds. This would have allowed WWE to fill up this extended gap between Rumble and Mania. Number 3. Triple H booking. Jey Uso vs. Gunther for Saturday Night Main Event seems like another major mistake. The match of Gunther and Jey Uso has already once taken place at Saturday Night Main Event, which arguably reduced the excitement for their WrestleMania showdown. It would be a far better situation if these two stars were heading Mania 41 as their first major showdown. Surely, the SNME match makes pure sense for the narrative, but now some fans have an idea of what they will witness at WrestleMania 41. Hence, this shows that booking the Jey and Gunther match at the special event is more like a mistake for their world title match at Shows of the Shows. Dean Ambrose mentioned on WWE Raw. Jon Moxley, FKA Dean Ambrose, is currently the face of All Elite Wrestling. That is why any mention of him on WWE television is significant, especially after how the company seemed to erase him recently. Ambrose is indirectly part of one of WWE's biggest storylines right now, between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. The two resumed their rivalry on Raw tonight as the OTC made his first appearance since the Royal Rumble, where the Visionary stomped him on the steel steps. Reigns interfered in the steel cage match between Rollins and CM Punk, pulling his former Shield brother out of the ring. He proceeded to decimate the Architect. During the attack, Michael Cole broke down the history between them. He mentioned the time Seth Rollins broke up the Shield, attacking Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in the process. This dates all the way back to the disintegration of the Shield, the night when Seth Rollins turned his back on Reigns and Ambrose, said Michael Cole. It is heartwarming to know that WWE is not shying away from mentioning Dean Ambrose, even if he isn't there anymore. Meanwhile, it remains to be seen what happens next between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. The Judgment Day and New Day attacked. The Judgment Day and the New Day worked the latest WWE Raw at Madison Square Garden. Dominic Mysterio helped Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez in attacking Bayley. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods faced off against Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee in tag team action. During a recent episode of Legion of Raw on Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge, Vince Russo took a massive jab at the Judgment Day and the New Day, claiming they couldn't handle all the heckling from the live crowd on WWE Raw while comparing them to a stand-up comedian. Bro, you know what that's like? Seriously? It's like a stand-up comedian, and somebody starts heckling him, and the comedian allowing the person to heckle him and standing there and not saying anything. That's what it's the equivalent of. Yep, absolutely the exact equivalent of that. Earlier in the podcast, Russo said creative wasted a major opportunity with WWE Raw at Madison Square Garden. When I started watching the WWF once a month, every Monday night was a live show from Madison Square Garden. Once a month on a Monday night, the card was stacked. Chad Gable denies being the mysterious masked star on Raw. Chad Gable was accused of being the mysterious luchador who showed up on the latest episode of WWE Raw. However, he proved that it wasn't him during a backstage segment. The American-made leader went to Mexico to find answers, as he was searching for the Lucha Libre source. He met a guy who was supposed to help him beat the luchadors. The individual handed the WWE star a box during his quest, but what was inside wasn't revealed. On this week's Raw, the New Day collided with LWO in a tornado tag team match. During the bout, a guy in an American-made mask and a black hoodie took out Dragon Lee with a Hurricane Rana and a flying headbutt. The mysterious person planted Rey Mysterio on the floor with a delayed German suplex. The masked man was grabbed by security, but managed to run away. Kathy Kelly interviewed Chad Gable backstage during the show. When asked about the attack, the latter said it wasn't him. He admitted that he saw what happened and thought it ridiculous, but Kelly didn't believe him. However, the luchador showed up behind them, escorted by security, proving Gable's innocence. WWE SmackDown viewership for March 7th sees an increase after LA Knight's US title win. Friday Night SmackDown continued its dominance as WWE's flagship show with another action-packed episode on March 7th. This week's show delivered major storyline developments, and now the viewership numbers are in. According to Programming Insider, WWE SmackDown drew 1.741 million viewers on the USA Network, reflecting a slight increase from last week's 1.731 million viewers plus 0.6%. Meanwhile, the 18 to 49 demographic rating remained steady, scoring a 0.52 rating, identical to last week. This week's episode featured LA Knight defeating Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Championship, which was truly a long time coming for the megastar, and fans were certainly happy. Cody Rhodes also addressed his battered face and cut a fiery promo on John Cena, following Cena's heel turn at the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. Roman Reigns sends a message after destroying Seth Rollins and CM Punk. Roman Reigns had a message for the WWE Universe following tonight's Raw on Netflix. During the show's final moments, the OTC brutally beat up CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Reigns is finally back on WWE TV again. He came out during the final moments of the steel cage match between Rollins and Punk and dragged Rollins out of the ring. The bell rang, and Rollins was declared the victor immediately afterward. Roman Reigns then launched an attack on Rollins, entered the ring, and attacked Punk as well. He has now shared a photo with Paul Heyman on Instagram with a message for the WWE Universe. Madison Square Garden! Acknowledge the greatest box office attraction in WWE history and his wise men, he wrote. Reigns wasn't happy at all over what happened at Royal Rumble 2025. Not only did he fail to win the free-for-all, he was brutally attacked by Rollins right after getting thrown out of the ring. Reigns is fully focused on exacting revenge on Punk for throwing him out at Royal Rumble, and on Rollins for beating him up at the PLE. Fans are beyond excited to see these three men go at it on the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania. The Rock reveals he's not a heel. The Rock has now made a shocking claim that he's not a heel. He's also talked about when he will next be appearing. The Final Boss posted a video on YouTube reviewing his time in the Elimination Chamber. The video was from his point of view, as he discussed Cody Rhodes' defiance and John Cena's heel turn. It contained clips from the Elimination Chamber and the post-show press conference. He didn't add anything to the clips beyond the idea that he was coming for Cody Rhodes, and now with John Cena beside him. In the tweet, he said he loved playing the good guy and would see everyone again down the road. However, even though the star is set to appear again, an exact date for his next appearance is not set. He sent the message on X during WWE Raw, just before Cody Rhodes appeared on screen, to address John Cena's heel turn to join The Rock at Elimination Chamber. "I love playing the good guy, see you down the road, Final Boss," The Rock wrote. What the Final Boss means by saying that he loves playing the good guy remains to be seen. At this time, he's clearly a heel, but the star seems to be implying that he's the actual good guy all along and not Cody Rhodes from his own POV. Cody Rhodes plans to get legit revenge on Travis Scott. John Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott destroyed the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber PLE. A former WWE employee recently claimed the American Nightmare is planning to get revenge on one of the three stars. After John Cena won the men's Elimination Chamber, Rhodes joined him in the ring. They were interrupted by The Rock, who was accompanied to the ring by Travis Scott. The Final Boss wanted to hear the American Nightmare's answer to his offer. When the undisputed WWE champion refused to sell his soul, the leader of the Cenation shockingly turned heel and attacked him. The 47-year-old legend, The Rock, and Scott then ganged up on the 39-year-old, with the rapper slapping Cody viciously across the face. Reports later claimed Scott's slap caused legit injuries to Rhodes. However, the latter seemingly denied it during a conversation with Conrad Thompson. Speaking on the Behind the Turnbuckle, The Last Word podcast, Tommy Carlucci claimed Rhodes denied the rumors to protect Scott because the rapper was getting heat on social media. However, Carlucci added that the American Nightmare would get his revenge on Scott when he gets his hands on the 33-year-old. When he gets his hands on him, there's going to be a little potato punch, what we call in the business. And you know what that is? That's a shoot punch. A little payback, he said. On the Busted Open podcast, former WWE star Tommy Dreamer and Hall of Famer Bully Ray discussed Travis Scott's slap to Cody Rhodes. The two pointed out that they were unhappy seeing him seemingly legitimately hurt the American Nightmare. Dreamer stated that he would have gotten into a legitimate brawl with Scott if he were in Rhodes' shoes. I got mad when I saw that hit by Travis Scott, and I was like, if that were me, I would have broken free, and I would have tackled that man, and I would have started pummeling him for real, he said. It will be interesting to see if Travis Scott joins the list of celebrities who have previously competed in the Stamford-based promotion. Roman Reigns or CM Punk? Who is Paul Heyman closer to in real life? Roman Reigns and CM Punk are some of WWE's most notable superstars today, and Paul Heyman's involvement in their careers has undeniably contributed to their success. Although they are both close to the Hall of Famer, one relationship is closer than the other. Paul Heyman has managed many WWE superstars throughout his career, and CM Punk and Roman Reigns are arguably two of the most notable ones. The Hall of Famer began managing the Second City Saint in 2012, and although it ended the following year, they rekindled their on-screen relationship when Punk returned in 2023. As for the undisputed Tribal Chief, the legendary manager has been working with him as his Wiseman since the start of the Bloodline storyline. Although Paul and Punk's relationship started first, Heyman and Reigns have much deeper ties. The Wiseman isn't just tied to Roman, but also the rest of the Anoa'i family. In the past, Heyman worked with the Head Shrinkers, also known as the Samoan SWAT team, composed of Rikishi and Samu. Due to this, Paul is considered part of the family. Notably, Heyman previously shared that his tribal chief was the one who compelled him to work every day when his partnership with Brock Lesnar ended. The head of the table has also previously noted that they worked together backstage for years before the Bloodline saga kicked off. Roman also noted that he learned a lot from Heyman even before they started working on screen due to the 59-year-old's working relationship with the Anoa'i family for decades. As for Punk, in a 2025 interview with WWE's Jackie Redmond, the Raw star shared that he and Paul have always been friends. However, he admitted that their relationship was negatively impacted after the Best in the World left the Stamford-based company in 2014. However, they have seemingly fixed their relationship since Punk's return to WWE. Roman Reigns returned to WWE on last night's Raw after being sidelined by Seth Rollins for several weeks following a ringside attack by the Architect at the Royal Rumble. However, the undisputed Tribal Chief didn't return alone, as he had Paul Heyman by his side. During Rollins and Punk's steel cage match, Roman interfered and dragged Seth out of the unforgiving structure. He attacked his former Shield brother at ringside before turning his attention to Punk. Interestingly, Heyman helping his former client get on his feet is not something that Roman appreciated. As a result, he entered the ring and speared the Second City Saint. It will be interesting to see what's next for CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman on the road to WrestleMania 41.